What's going on, guys? This is Corey and
Aaron
with Colorado Cold Bloods. So, very, very cool clutch today. We have our, this would be our second attempt at the True Ghost Tristripe. So you'll get to see the results of that clutch. That particular clutch is very long odds for us. It's about 1 in 32 odds, as I recall. So, very, very long shot. That's a per egg. Per egg, you have 1 in 32 shot at it. However the
So just
statistics
to reiterate,
work.
if you have 32 eggs, you have one chance that there's at least one of those in 32 eggs.
Yeah, from a percentage, it's a very long shot. So.
And we all know ball pythons, they don't lay 32
they
eggs.
do not lay 32
They
eggs.
lay like 7, roughly.
Average is 7,
Yeah.
So for this pairing, we did 2 boys. So essentially, we rotated out 2 boys with the exact same genetics here. We have our boy Rand and our boy Perrin. Each one of those 2 went to our female Varen. So those boys each are both. So this is one of those boys. This is Rand. So Rand is a visual hypo, as you can see. He is double het for VPI Axanthic and Tristripe. He was produced in-house, but this is one of the 2 males. Again, both of them are the exact same genetics here. They're actually siblings, the boys. So with that, our female is a triple het hypo VPI Axanthic. That's where our 32%, our 32 odds come in, or 1 in 32, whatever. Words are hard, as they always are for me, apparently. But that is what it is. So we have a visual hypo double het to a triple het. And that is the approach that we took. So, the common phrase, I know everybody laughs at me when I say it, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So,
Good old Wayne Gretzky.
That's right. So, got to take our shot. So that was it's been a journey for about the last 8 years is when I originally had the idea to do it. We've grown up our own animals in relation to that to target this goal. So with that, I hope you'll be very very excited with us as you look through this clutch and experience this clutch with us.
And for anybody who might know, Varen, Rand, and Perrin are all names from the Wheel of Time series.
Yep.
On which is you can stream on Prime for now.
They since we named them long before that, it's a book series, fantasy book series. But with that, they did actually come out. They have several seasons now for that particular.
We're a bunch of
series.
nerds in this house.
Yep, absolutely, very much nerds. So anyway, with that, we will adjust slightly here. As we mentioned before, we did have some shout outs to do. So we have our friends over at High Street Exotics. That would be Mariah and Jimmy. Those great folks. They more work the Brazilian rainbow boas, and in addition to that, they do have a nice collection of pieds and a lot of baseline pieds in general, but by that I mean they have lots of different genetics working into the pied projects.
And the Brazilian rainbow boas.
And they are definitely working some cool genes in the rainbows. So anyway, definitely check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Good people. And over here.
And no, you are not delusional. It is not October. It is not the middle of January.
She's just crazy.
It's almost June. By the time you see this, it will be June. And yes, I am wearing a hoodie for one sheer fact of I could not find my t-shirt to do my shout out. But Nico Exotics, Jason over at Nico gave me a sweatshirt on top of a t-shirt. And like I said, I don't know what I did with that t-shirt. I will find it. So instead, I am dying of heat exhaustion in a hoodie in June. Yeah. But nonetheless, shout out to Jason and his wife. I know they have a partner. I apologize. I never will remember your name. It's nothing against you. I'm just terrible at names. But yeah, good friends over at Nico.
Also Colorado-based crew.
Colorado-based group. Yep, they have good selection of snakes too. And yeah, it's good people.
Alrighty, with that, let's go ahead and jump into this clutch. This again could be, I keep saying it, but this could be one of the biggest clutches of the year for us, if not multiple years possibly. I think I said that about last year's as well with our first chance at it. So anyway, jump in, check it out, see what we've done, and I hope you guys enjoy. What's going on, guys? This is Corey over at Colorado Cold Bloods, and we are here for clutch number 5. Clutch number 5 is a pretty big one for us here. Could be one of the biggest clutches of the year, if not a few years for us. So anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and jump on in here. The pairing here was our, we actually had 2 males that we rotated out here. Both are the same genetics, but both Perrin and Rand. Perrin and Rand are both visual hypos that are double het for VPI Axanthic Tristripe. So again, that's hypo, double het, VPI Axanthic, het Tristripe, right? So the females here were triple het for VPI Axanthic Tristripe and hypo. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in. We had very, very long odds on this. You saw us aim for this last year as well, if you've been watching for a bit. So this is attempt number 2. We have several girls. Last year only one of the girls went. This year so far only one's gone, which was for this clutch specifically. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump in here and see our attempt number 2. We are aiming for the True Ghost Tristripe on the VPI line of Axanthic. So we will go ahead and jump in. We have our very first normal. This normal is 100% het for hypo and 66% double het VPI Axanthic Tristripe. So you see some things here that could indicate influence. You got some nice extended lines on some of these dorsal stripes, and we're going to be squirmy. So you got some extensions on some of these. They're not straight alien heads for the most part, but even where they are like that, you see that elongation that's going on. So that could be a good indicator for the het tristripe portion. You know, this is obviously 100% het hypo. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of influence from that het Axanthic as well. In this particular case, not really sure. Once I grab the next one here, you'll see which one I feel like is more likely to possibly have all 3. But again, it's 66%ers on the 2. So this is another normal here. We have normal that is het hypo and 66% double het Axanthic Tristripe. So first of all, this animal looks a little bit brighter than the other one down there. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but with that, I see a lot more indicators on this one. You see right along that edge up here, there's a whole lot of elongation that's almost tri-stripe-ish. So you get some pretty good clues on this one. Again, it's still only 66%, but if I was a betting man, this is probably the one. Again, you know, we could shed test these or something like that too, potentially here for the VPI. Obviously, there's no shed test yet for Tristripe, but at least for the Axanthic side of the house, we could possibly check on it. So these guys both, Aaron was actually just noting before the video here, these both have a little bit of a head stamp. So kind of cool. They got a little bit of that faded kind of crown look on their head. But yeah, so neat little setup. All right. Number 3. I'm trying not to dump the bin over here. Number 3, we have our hypo that is 66% double het VPI Axanthic Tristripe. Gorgeous baby hypo. I love hypo. You guys all know I love hypo. We got some pretty darn good clues on this one on the het tristripe portion as well. And then obviously the 66% het for VPI Axanthic. So very, very good clues on this animal as well towards those hets. The first one I don't see nearly as much as these other 2, but those are some pretty solid potential markers there. Not every one is going to turn out, I'm sure, but with that being said, It's very, very, very good clues. You know, people ask us regularly about markers on Tristripe. When we're looking for something, that's kind of the thing we're looking for, is that elongation. Hopefully that's pretty obvious to you in this video what those are potential markers for. You will see that on plenty of animals that are not het Tristripe, so that's something to be very clear on. Those things can happen, even when you're not in a Tristripe project. So, does not mean het Tristripe. That's all I can say. It does not guarantee it. It's just like pied markers in that it's a solid clue if you know it's in the pairing. So, hopefully that helps, but that's a beautiful potential marker there. All right. So, this is something I was really, really hoping to see last year for sure. This is absolutely gorgeous animal. We hit a Tristripe VPI Axanthic, 100% het for hypo. Both males that we used were visual hypo, so it guarantees the het hypo on these. And like I said, yeah, it's pretty obvious this is Tristripe, and it's pretty obvious that this is an Axanthic. And if you don't think it is, let's get one that's not. So anyway, I know I'm being overly dramatic with that, but look at that contrast. That's just so cool. This is something that we've wanted to hatch for a while, and we are absolutely stunned and ecstatic. Yeah, so cool. All right, so, and finally, last baby in the clutch here, drum roll. We officially have what could be a world's first here. You know, I can't guarantee that by any means, because obviously there's so many people working these projects. You know, not everybody's out there on social media by any means, anything like that. So there is our very first, what I hope to be or believe might be the very first True Ghost Tristripe. So hypo, VPI Axanthic Tristripe. So we hit two major goal animals in this clutch. The odds for this animal here were 1 in 32. So it was very, very, very long odds. This was our second shot, as you saw from last year. But there are the two key goal animals that we were targeting for. And this one is 100% het for hypo. So now, both of these are males. They will be sticking around here because, I mean, how could I sell that? But with that being stated, you know, regardless, there are necessities in breeding for either backup males or the potential for actually targeting for each male towards different females for growth in the project. So either way, guarantees are het VPI and het Tristripe. In this case, also het hypo, or visuals for potential visuals for any of the other side that have visual Tristripe, visual hypo, or visual Axanthic. But two of the coolest things I think that we've hatched to date. These came out way better than I could have ever anticipated, to be honest. The stripes are pretty solid. We got a little breakage down towards the back on that one, a little bit of breakage down here as well on this one, but generally those are some nice quality tri-stripes, and honestly some of the coolest things I think we've seen. So absolutely ecstatic for this. So our very first triple recessive produced in-house here, and that is that. So for these guys, we plan only to bring them to one show, mostly because we want to make sure we reduce any potential stresses to these animals. So if you wanted to come see these guys in person, the intent is to bring these to the October All-American show out in Castle Rock. So again, that's All-American Reptile and Plant Expo in Castle Rock, Colorado in October. That is where we intend to have these animals to show them. So if you want to check them out in person, that's where we will be. I'm sure that they will make sure that they are in shed during that show or something silly, because that is the that is the likelihood of it. But that's where we will show them off. Aside from that, they will stay here at the facility, because in general, we've seen in the past where if we've taken them to shows regularly, that it slows eating habits, slows growth, everything like that. So, you know, reducing that stress is key, but we do want to share it with everybody. So if you want to check them out, that's where we will be. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys are as excited as we are. Thank you very much for watching, following through with this journey for us. We've got some pretty cool clutches on the way. In a few clutches here, we will have our shot at the Ultramel Hypo Tristripe. We will see. That clutch is due to pip in 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. I'd have to double check the dates. But with that, we're very excited to have our shot at that again. We missed last year as well for that one, but either way, I couldn't be happier with this year's results, whether we hit the next one or not either, because this is kind of the culmination of a project for us, and it is definitely not the end of the project by any means. This is the building block we've been aiming for and building other hets for several years. So the fact that this is a male really does help our project. But alrighty, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you guys enjoy this and are, like I said, as excited as we are. Big things to come, and we will see you guys next week.